So I'm here in Boracay and I'm gonna rent a bicycle. Isla Bike Rental. Hiyo!
Alright, it's gonna be another podcast style episode. Alright, so the guy in front of me, his name's Michael. He is the owner of the bike rental. On Strava, he is Kael Partisala. I lucked out on the bicycle rental because he said he was going out for a ride also. So at first, I wasn't sure if I was gonna film the ride because it was actually really inconvenient to film because this is what I was wearing. I had a bag. That's where I put the camera. But as soon as he turned into this section, it changed my mind. I was stoked as soon as we hit this section, and I knew this was going to be a fun ride. I mean, just look at it. Obviously, the main reason I wanted to rent a bike is I wanted to bike in Boracay. That's me. Because we were here for my wife's awarding.
Okay.
Or like it was like... No, the awarding was in Manila. We went to Manila and then to Boracay. And then in Boracay, it was like a get-together. I don't really know why we were there. It's like, you know, they just give trips in AXA. And we were lucky enough to be part of this Boracay one. And I've been to Boracay many times, especially in the 90s, like well before it was this huge tourism hub. But I never saw it in this light. That is why I wanted to go biking and I wanted to see it from a different perspective. And I got really lucky because Michael was going on a ride and I just followed him, and like this spot I probably never would have ridden through it if it weren't for him, and it was very enjoyable. Yeah, this was pretty good. Now, most of Boracay is actually roads. That's why I'll talk about the bike later on. But look at that view, man.
Alright, already worth it.
Yeah, this got me happy. I'm not gonna lie, it got me so happy. So, this is the beach opposite of the normal white sand beach in Boracay, and this side kind of surprised me. It was a lot more chill than the main side. Now, there was also a lot less establishments, like you can see some of these are empty. But I feel like with the kids in our current situation, this side was pretty good because if you look at where the sun is, this was afternoon, and if you're on the main side of Boracay, like the part where all of the tourists go, where a lot of people go, that part of Boracay, that's where the sun sets. You get this beautiful sunset in that part of Boracay. But the reality is that in the afternoon, that side is really, really hot. And on this side, the sun is setting on the other side, so you get a lot more shade. So I feel like this should be an option for me and the kids and the wife next time we go to Boracay.
Having a hard time keeping up with him on the climbs though.
Yeah, so I had a hard time. Surprisingly, Boracay has a lot of climbs. And a lot of good views. So this was the bike I rented. It was a Mountain Peak MTB. This is one of those rare moments of me riding a mountain bike. And the bike was pretty good. I recommend going back to the bike rental. It was set up properly. The gears shifted really well. And if you look at it, I could even bring cycling shoes. So next time I go back, which will be later this year, I will definitely bring my cycling shoes so I can clip in. Because the pedals that I had was one side it was clipless and one side was the flat pedals. And those were the pedals I used to use. In retrospect, I did not like those pedals because when I was using the flat pedals, I kept searching for the flat part, right? So next time I go back, definitely bringing my clipless shoes. And since I was riding MTB, I wasn't used to the position. And it became clear at some point that my saddle was way too low. So we adjusted it off camera. And Kyle was super helpful. Just, being there and showing me the routes. And, leaving me while going up the climbs.
Can't keep up with him up the hills.
I don't know if I was struggling because the saddle was too low or he was just much faster than me up the climbs. And it was not the most comfortable for me with a bag and short shorts. But I really appreciated that we passed a lot of roads that were not busy at all. I mean, look at that, man. It's pretty nice. I gotta say, it's pretty nice. I feel like everybody should try bringing a bike or renting a bike whenever they go on vacation because you definitely see a different side of a place. And I am super appreciative that Michael brought me off-roading, even though my off-roading skills on that day were definitely not up to par. I think, well, the thing is, the mountain bike, the tire pressure was set up. It was really hard. The tire pressure was 40 psi, and I don't know how big the tires were, but I assume it was at least 2 inches. And I think that's pretty high. Considering that most of Boracay is pavement, maybe that's why they set it up at 40 psi normally. But I was definitely slipping and sliding off-road. And of course, trying to keep up with Michael.
I thought I'd have a chill ride, but I'm happy to get a little intensity for me anyway. And some off-road.
Yeah, he was killing me up the climbs, man. Killing me. But definitely, I would not have seen this part of Boracay if it weren't for him.
Wait, here?
See, I slipped again. On my way to the bike rental, I was in a tricycle. Well, those e-trikes. And then I was telling the guy that I rented a bike and he asked me how much. And I think the rate was 500 pesos for 6 hours. And then the e-trike guy said that was expensive, that he knew other places that could rent out at 150 or 200. But I searched these guys online, and Michael had a lot of very positive reviews. And being a cyclist, I know how important it is to have a bike properly set up. And I was very willing to pay for the certainty of a properly set up bicycle, as opposed to have a crappy bicycle just to, I didn't want to use it for transportation. I wanted to really have an adventure on the bike. And I did. And it was a plus that he was able to sort of guide me through. Well, I just hitched with him on his ride anyway.
Iligan.
Huh?
Ilig-iligan.
Ilig-iligan.
Ilig-iligan beach.
Ah. Yeah, I've never seen the other side of
Yung keyhole.
Boracay. Oh yeah, there. That's what we saw.
Dito kasi kami sa ating tao.
Yeah. Even the other side, the one where we were biking, where there was a lot of people, that parang boulevard. Kasi yung mga pa red brick na road.
May event kasi doon na kitesurfing.
So usually...
Kaninang umaga.
Usually
wala yun.
Usually konting tao lang.
Mga nagka-kite lang pag mga ganitong season.
Pero maganda, parang mas gusto ko yung that side.
Medyo ano lang, marami lang mga sea urchins.
So swimming.
Kasi
Okay.
mostly mga rocks na kasi doon, corals na kasi yun nandyan sa side na yan.
Pero at least sa beach area, parang chill.
Okay, lalo na pag
Sometimes I get comments that I should speak Tagalog in my vlog. Well, that was the best Tagalog
See you, Michael. Thank you.
that I have.
See you.
It was bad. Anyway, Michael's ride ended, so I had a couple of more hours that I could do. So I decided to ride some more.
Before we get to the rest of the ride, this is me on the way to the shop with a bag filled with stuff to easily make cold brew coffee. I bring it home because that's where we wash it. There's no wash area for dishes at the shop. Inside the bag is the Toddy cold brew system and a bunch of water containers to help me make cold brew. Of course, for the beans, I use Curve Coffee Collaborators. Today, we're using beans called Tanyag. It gives a subtle change in the flavor from the usual cold brew blend. I just asked the shop to pre-grind it in a cold brew setting. Typically, it's coarse. I use a weighing scale, put the appropriate amount of coffee, in this case 400 grams, then another 2,000 grams of water. I make sure to evenly spread it out on the beans. I'm careful not to mix it too much in order to not over agitate it. Then, put it in the fridge. 18 hours later, I'll have the coffee concentrate to make our cold brew coffee. Easy peasy thanks to Curve Coffee Collaborators.
Hello. The nice thing with having a phone on your bike, you can kinda navigate if you knew how to do it. Like even just turning on Strava and then loading a map, you can kind of figure out different places to go. So without Michael, I just kind of looked through roads that we didn't pass and just passed those roads. And it was still very enjoyable.
Alright, so Michael's done riding. I am gonna continue and hopefully continue exploring. Although this looks like a dead end.
Or you know, none roads.
The map though. Well, hopefully it continues to a road. Let's see. Alright, at least that's a road. Sorta.
See, Strava on the phone is really helpful.
Just doing a little exploring. Kinda a rough area.
Boracay is really small if you like to go cycling, especially if you're used to longer distances. You could do the whole island, literally almost every road in the island in a couple of hours. And Michael was saying that like usually when they do like a long ride, it's like the whole island and they'll do like 2 or 3 loops up the island. And it can get kind of tiring because I didn't do a good job putting that part in camera, but there were quite some significant climbs in Boracay, especially on the other side of the island, the side that is less touristy.
I don't think they'll let the bikes through. Boss, pwede ba yung bike?
Ay, wala kasi.
Wala may sign? Okay. Bitaw. Well, no one's stopping us.
The guy basically said that, you know, you go in there, and if somebody tells you you can't go in there, then you can't go in there. There was no sign though, so there's a lot of people walking to the spot. Just made sure to bike reasonably slow, not get in anyone's way, and, you know, not accidentally hurt anybody.
Alright, there's a guard. We'll see if he'll stop us.
But as soon as the guard saw me, I was very quickly told to take the bike back.
Hindi pwede mag-bike dito? Okay. Walang sign eh. Kahit i-roll? Kahit i-walk yung bike? Okay. Tingnan ko na lang for 1 minute.
Yeah, man. Biking in Boracay, surprisingly enjoyable. And if you wanted to do it for exercise, there's so many hills that it's worth it.
I'm literally cycling towards the setting sun.
I'd do it again.
I mean, honestly, not bad, Boracay. Very enjoyable. I don't know. I wasn't sure if a small island like Boracay could make it like interesting, because, you know, it's a small area, so not much to explore. I'm pretty sure I've cycled through the whole island now. Almost all the roads. But still quite enjoyable. And look at that view. A surprising amount of hills here in Boracay. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of hills. A lot of little hills.
Alright, that's it. Enjoy the vlog. More soon.
Let's do it. Woo! Nothing here.